Good morning. As I said on my Facebook page the other day, I'm going to do some research on filing taxes for 2021, the recovery rebate if you did not receive your stimulus check on time or at all, and just a couple of new things that they're doing for taxes this year. It was very hard for me to find out on my own what was going on with my taxes. People were calling me and asking me, questions about, what to do and how to do it. I didn't know. So I thought maybe while I have the time that I can do a little research and do a video on it. So thank you for reviewing my channel today. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, which is very new, go ahead and click that thumb down there and let's get started. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm looking on websites. So this is, let me start by saying I am not a tax advisor. I am not a lawyer. I'm just someone doing a blog on unemployment, on taxes, because everybody comes to me with questions. So I figured I just did a video so that I can answer at least half of the questions. A lot of people work. A lot of people just don't know, where to go to get the information. So I figured, let's do a video. Right now I'm on Yahoo News. I'm doing CNN and got some little, jazz music playing in the background because I like jazz. Let's see. Yeah, that's good music. Turn it up just a little bit for my own liking. All right, so let's get started. So let's start with, I printed out a few pages I'm gonna read from, and it's coming from Yahoo News about the additional child tax credit for 2021. Now, it looks like, let's see, that's not much important. Okay, so how much of the child tax credit is refundable? I think the child tax credit is going to be very important this year, only because of the stimulus check and the new stimulus plan that Biden is approving for February. Once you file your taxes, you get the $2,000 per child, and also they're going to give you monthly payments up to, I think they said October, or until the coronavirus emergency is over with. So it's going to be very important for you guys to file your taxes this year. Even if you just received the unemployment, if you had them to take taxes out of your unemployment check, they do owe you. But if you opted not to get the taxes taken out, then you will owe them. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I printed out was how much the tax credit is refundable. Now they say for 2020 and 2021, up to $1,400 of the child tax credit is refundable. So if your 2020 and 2021 tax bills are zero, you may still be eligible for a $1,400 refund for every eligible child that you claim. This amount is also indexed into inflation, so it increases slightly each year. However, the new tax law also caps the refundable portion of child tax credit to 15% of your earned income that exceeds $2,500. Now, that means that you have to have at least $11,000 of earned income to qualify for a full tax credit of $1,400. Now, what that means is, in order for you to qualify for the child tax credit, you needed to have made at least $11,000 last year. If you did not make $11,000 last year in unemployment or a job, you do not qualify for the child tax credit, which is pretty low compared to what it was the year previously. So you got to at least make $11,000 in order to qualify. So that's that. Now, the age is 17. Your child is under 17 by the end of the tax year, or as young as 16, they qualify. So if you have a 17-year-old, they wasn't working, they can't file their taxes till they're 18, even if they had a job. So just go ahead and get, if your 17-year-old was working, just go ahead and get their W-2s from their job and claim it with your job, because if they're living with you and they're working, they still can't file their taxes until they're 18 years old. So either they can save their W-2s until they turn 18, or they can give it to you and add that money, and then y'all can get more money. Because like I said, once you file your taxes, your child tax credit, they're going to be giving you a monthly payment every month. I think it's like $2,000 or $1,400 every month. Each child will get that amount. So look for that soon. Now, the relationship of the child, people be like, oh, can I file? That's my cousin, that's my niece. Now, the child If the child is your daughter, son, stepchild, foster child, adopted child, brother, sister, stepbrother, stepsister, half brother, the child can also be direct descendant of any of those mentioned. So they don't have to be your kids. You can claim your cousin. You can claim your stepbrother. You know, anybody that's in your home that you're taking care of, you can claim them. As long as no one else is claiming them, it's legal. People don't believe like, oh, I can't do that. I'm getting. You're not going to get in trouble. You can claim your cousin. You can claim your brother, your stepbrother, your stepchild, whoever you take care of in that household. If they're not working and no one else is claiming them, you can claim them as a dependent. It's legal. It is legal. Now, the child must be claimed as your dependent on your federal tax return. No, if somebody else claimed that child, you will get in trouble. Like somebody, okay, so they'll be like, okay, I need proof. So if you can prove, so say like you file a child and somebody else file that child. As long as you can prove with their social security card or your birth certificate and the other person can't prove it, then they'll get in trouble and have to pay that money back. You wouldn't. All right. Now, in addition to the 6 tests mentioned above, your income determines whether or not you can claim the child tax credit. First, you need to have an earned income at least $2,500 to qualify for the credit. Now I'm confused because first they said $11,000. Now they're saying only $2,500. But because of in light of what's going on, they probably however, new tax laws caps that the refundable portion earned income exceeds $2,500. That means that you have to have at least $11,000 income. It's $11,000. Okay. So it says that the child tax credit phases out once you make over $200,000. So if you make over $200,000 a year, then you don't qualify for the tax credit. I don't know anyone personally that makes that much a year. I mean, if they do, they're not going to tell me it. So it completely fades out. So you still get, okay, if you make a $200,000 a year, this is individuals, not married couples. For joint filers, it's $400,000. So if you make over $200,000 as an individual, then you no longer qualify. And as a couple, married couple, if you make over $400,000 a year combined, then you it completely phases you out of this option, which means you would not get that stimulus check monthly if you make that much, because why would you need it anyway if you make that much? You know, don't be greedy. You know, keep it for the needy. All right, so the child tax credit is designed to give income boost to parents and guardians. It only applies to dependents who are younger than 17 the last day of the tax year. The credit is worth up to $2,000 per dependent for tax years 2020 and 2021, but your income level depends exactly much as you get. Determines exactly how much you get, okay? You have to earn at least $2,500 to qualify. Then it phases out at $200,000. Okay, basically repeating itself. So if your tax bill is $3,000, then you're eligible for $1,000. Your bill is now $2,000. So basically, it's $2,000 per child this year. Last year, I think it was $1,000 per child. Now they're giving out $2,000 per child. So again, they're giving me the breakdown of the recent changes to the child tax credit this year. It says the credit amount increased from $1,000 to $2,000. The child tax credit is refundable up to $1,400. It was previously it wasn't refundable. Now it is. What else? The other thing that changed is that the income level of $200,000 for single filers, $400,000 for married couples. When last year it was 75 for single and 110, and they only doing that. Okay, so they increased that because they want everybody to be eligible for that monthly payment. It looks like. So last year it was 75,000 if you didn't qualify. Now they raised it to 200,000, which is very beneficial. Okay, and now there is a $500 non-refundable credit available for each dependent older than 17. Okay, great. So if you have a child that's over 17 that still depends on you, or 18, 19-year-old, they're saying that you can still file them. You won't get the $2,000, but they give you $500. That way, when you get your stimulus check, when that program or that bill is passed with Biden, that's going to give you a monthly payment of whatever the monthly payment is going to be, they're going to qualify. Make sure if you have a 17-year-old or older filing for your taxes if they can't file themselves, because they saying they're going to give you $500. All right. All right, so okay, to go on about the law that was passed March the 27th. Is FPUC program provided an additional $600 per week in unemployment compensations per recipient through July 2020. The extra $600 is now taxable. All right. You may be all right if you arrange to have your tax withheld from your benefits, but federal law caps withholding benefits at 10%. That might not be enough to offset all taxes owed if you had another additional income during the year. Even worse, not all states are technologically prepared to withhold anything from any extra $600 portion. All right. Okay, you're not, okay, how to prepare for 2020 tax bill. Now they're giving us a couple of things about preparing. And then again, this came from Yahoo. I am not a tax advisor. I am not a lawyer. This is just a blog about, what's going on, what to expect, and how to handle things. Only because the people that I know ask me questions, because I'm a good researcher. I love to research things, and I like to get to know things before I do it. So last year, they gave us until July. Let me see, I think I wrote this down. They gave us till July 15th because of what was happening with the coronavirus to file our taxes. They're not giving us that this year. You have to file your taxes on time. You have to file them by April 15th, 2021. All right. First, contact your unemployment office immediately to start having your income tax withheld from your payments if you haven't already done so, and if you're still collecting. So we would definitely advise that if last year you didn't have your taxes being withheld from your unemployment, definitely start doing that now, because it's going to build up. Imagine that extra $600 they're giving you on top of what you're getting, and you're not getting any taxes taken out. It's going to be bad for you if you don't have a job to pay those taxes back, and you're going to owe. You don't want to owe taxes. Okay. It says if you're still collecting unemployment benefits, see if you can opt in and having your federal and state taxes withheld. It probably won't solve the whole problem, but it will defray somewhat the impact of those benefits being included in your income in April. You're going to ask for a Form W-4V. You need a Form W-4V. Fill it out and file it with your unemployment office. You might also be able to make an estimate tax payment if you have money available. Now, the last estimate payment deadline for 2020 tax year is January 15th, 2021, which is too late now. No additional penalties and interest will begin if you catch up on this date, although you might still be hit with some interest and penalties that occurred prior to the time you caught up. All right, it says the CARES Act provided no interest and penalties on taxes would occur from April 15 until July 15, 2020. Now, the bottom line is that many Americans find themselves in a position where they need every cent of those unemployment checks for living expenses. There's no money left to send to the IRS quarterly estimated tax payments. You might have the option if this is the case. Okay. Now, they have an article as well on Yahoo News about, do you have to pay taxes on the extra $600 they sent us? We need to know these things. Y'all giving us all this free money, but is this money free? Are we paying taxes on it? Did we need to pay taxes on it? Was it something that we should have opted in to pay taxes on it? Will we be able to, file it with our taxes and still get our child tax credit? Are you adding as wages? Like, how are we paying this money back, or do we have to pay this money back? Okay. Now it says, do I have to pay taxes on that extra $600 that was sent for the coronavirus relief? Okay. It says that not only is the unemployment compensation taxable, but receiving it can affect tax might be eligible for and counting to defray it. I think I read this already. Let's see. This is not. Do I have to pay an extra? Okay, so unemployment compensation is taxable, but receiving it can affect some tax that you might be eligible for. Something else also to consider is if you usually get an earned income tax credit. While unemployment benefits aren't considered earned income, they do adjust your gross income, your AGI, which is used to calculate your earned income tax. You know, I didn't think about earned income tax, so let me write this down, and then I'll research it while I have you. Earned income tax. I was thinking about child tax credit, but I didn't think about the earned income tax credit. And while I'm speaking with you, I'm online. I'm researching as I'm going along. These are facts. This is not something I'm making up. This is actually things that I'm researching to help anyone that needs help or the questions that needs to be asked, instead of having to go in and stay online and speak to your tax advisor. So that's good. So they're letting us know that the unemployment is taxable. We can use it. Unemployment compensation has its own line, or line 7, which accompanies your 1040 tax form. You'll transfer the amount in box 1 of form 1099G to line 7 of schedule 1. Then the withholding amount in box 4 of the 1099G goes directly into your 1040 tax return on line 25B. I mean, I don't know, exactly where these spots are, but once you look at it, you can go back and watch this video, listen to what I just said, and maybe that'd be helpful for you. For those who file TurboTax or, any online tax company. You must report your unemployment compensation on your tax return, even if you don't receive a Form 1099-G for some reason. Do not file your taxes for your unemployment. First of all, you got unemployment because you said you're working. All right, you got to prove your job that you the job that you said you had to get unemployment. You need to have those forms. You get your money orders together. You will be, it's a federal crime. You don't want to commit a crime. Committing a federal crime, you wouldn't be able to qualify for a lot of things in the future. So whatever job you said you had, you got to show proof of that. Then you got to file for unemployment. You need all your W-2s to line up correctly. All right. So if you have a tax advisor, I need to talk to them about that. If you're on TurboTax, they usually have a whole bunch of questions. Be careful of those questions that you answer. Make sure they're correct and make sure they're truthfully to your best ability. Because if I received the unemployment because I said I owned a lawn service, or I'm babysitting, or I do hair, you need to have those forms showing that you babysitted, that you did hair. You have a 1099 for, you got your money order, your receipts, everything that you use, your hair receipts, beauty supply store receipts, Home Depot receipts, cover your ass. Just cover your ass. All right. What else is here? I think that's it on this for the child tax credit. If you guys have any questions, just post the questions below, and then I'll come back and I'll try to answer them as fast as possible. But I was doing my research and I found out that Amazon, which is taking over the whole freaking country, doesn't even pay taxes. Did you know that? Do you know that Amazon pays $0? I'm sorry, look at me. I'm so messed up by it, right? They pay $0 in taxes. Federal tax, they pay nothing. And guess how much they get in return? $137 million in tax refunds. I need to call somebody to find out how can I get that back. What do I need to do to get me a couple of million on these damn tax returns? And what they saying. Okay, so it says, remember, so I wrote down a couple of pointers. Why, I don't know, but let me read over it. I'm saying that, remember that in 2019, they postponed our taxes to July 15th, which could make an impact on this year's taxes. So last year, some people didn't file until July 15th. That will have an effect on your taxes this year. This year, they're doing no postponements. You do have to have your taxes done by April the 15th. If they change that, we'll know in the future. But right now, everything is April the 15th. Now, if you received a stimulus, or if you didn't receive a stimulus when you're supposed to receive your stimulus check, then they have this thing going called a rebate credit. So let me look at this right quick. And I am on Yahoo Finance, and they have an article about what you do if your stimulus check is lost, stolen, or destroyed. And I can go ahead and read it to you guys. It says, fortunately, the IRS has a procedure to help you. If your first round of $1,200 or your second round of $600 stimulus payment is lost, stolen, or destroyed, you can ask the IRS to perform a payment trace to see if your payment was cash. They can trace your check. You go on irs.gov, they can ask them to perform a payment trace, and they will let you know if your check was stolen or cash. If it wasn't, it looks like they have something else they can do for you. You may need to request a trace in order to eventually get paid, assuming that you're eligible for the check. But there's less than thrilling news too. First, whether or not your check was cash, the IRS won't reissue your payment. Instead, you have to claim your amount you owe as a recovery rebate credit on your 2020 tax return, which means you won't get a stimulus check money right away. Second, as with any government request, there's a healthy list of procedures you must follow. Slip up on one of the steps and you could find yourself in a bureaucratic black hole. But don't worry, while dealing with the IRS can be intimidating, we'll help you get through the process. Okay, so what they said there was that if you did not get your stimulus check, the first check, if you did not get your second stimulus check, you're going to file a recovery rebate on your 2020 tax return, which is going to give you both checks. If it was lost or stolen, okay, first you need to check and make sure it wasn't cash. If it was not cashed and you do qualify, then they're going to have you to, again, file your recovery rebate. I'm in a situation where I received the first one, but not the second one. So once I file my taxes, I'm going to do that recovery rebate. And then they're going to just give me all the money all at one time, which is great because I would rather have a big lump sum than one little lump sum. And then I'm doing something with this when I could have just did one big thing with that. All right. And I will advise, save your money. We don't know why they're giving us all this money. They may know something that we don't know. We might have to pick up and move and leave. We don't know what's going on. Save every dime. That's what it's for. Pay your bills, save your money. We don't know if we got to pick up and leave. We don't know if something happens to it. I'm not going to even speak on it because you just never know what happens. Until all this is over with, I would save every dime I got, unless I got to pay bills and eat. But anyway, that's something totally different. Now, it says, who can request a payment trace? You can track the status of your stimulus list check using IRS Get My Payment portal. So you can go online, go to IRS, Get My Payment, type in your social security number, I believe, and your social security number and your name or something. It's real simple, and then click on it and see what happens. All right. Now, if you're getting a stimulus payment, this tool will let you know how it will be delivered. It's going to say, oh, you are approved. We sent you direct deposit. Or it say, if you're not getting it, I forgot what they keep saying. They keep saying my payment information is not available, which is great. That means they did not send out anything and you can, file it on your rebate. All right. Now, you can request a payment trace if you haven't received your stimulus. It says you're going to get a IRS letter. It's going to be a notice 1444 or a 144B. All right. Don't request a payment trace to determine if you're eligible. Only if your check was cashed or not. That's what that's for. Nothing else. All right. All right, so they said if you were scheduled to get the first round paper check stimulus, the IRS can't initiate a payment trace unless it has been 4 weeks since the check was mailed, 6 weeks since the check was mailed if you were forwarding the address, 9 weeks since the check was mailed to a foreign address. For the second round of payments, a payment trace isn't allowed until February the 24th. So right now, okay, say like you didn't receive that second stimulus check and you feel like somebody cashed it or it was lost or stolen, you can't perform a trace or ask for a trace of payment until this February the 24th. That's if it was mailed. Now, it's March the 10th if the check was mailed and if you had it forwarded to a different address. It's March the 31st if your check was mailed to a foreign address. All right. So I know you wonder, oh, you saying a payment trace. How do I get a payment trace, right? So there are two ways to request a stimulus package or a stimulus payment trace. First of all, you can call the IRS at 919-9835. All right, or you can mail or fax a completed form 3911 to the address. To the IRS. So again, that form number is 3911 to the IRS. And then you can get that from the IRS.gov website. All right. Pick only one method. You can't do both. So don't call the IRS and mail or fax that form, because now it's in a delay. Don't think that because they haven't responded quickly that they're not working on it. They are. It's just taking a longer time because everybody's calling them. Everybody's writing them. They'll get to you when you get to you. Do not put in 2 request forms. It's going to mess you up. All right. Now, if you're using the form number 3911, write EIP1 for the first round of payment and EIP2 for your second round payment on the top of the form to identify which payment you're trying to trace. Now, to complete the form, answering all refund questions as they relate to your stimulus payment. When completing item 7 under section 1, check the box for individual as the type of return, enter 2020 as a tax period, and don't write anything for the date filed. Sign the form, and if you are a joint tax filer, both spouses need to sign the form. You're going to mail or fax the form to an appropriate address or fax the form according to the chart below. So they have different states. I'm located in Michigan right now. So you will have to just, again, go to irs.gov, and it'll give you, the area you live in, the address to mail it to, and the phone number you can contact. All right. Now, if your check was cash, and the U.S. Bureau of will send you a claim package that includes a copy of your cash check. They're going to let you know who cashed it, where they cashed it at, and everything. So if you put that form in, 3911, or you call the IRS and they say that your check was cash, they can't let you know who signed it. I guess they signed your name, but they're going to let you know where it was cashed, and they're going to give you a copy of the cash check as well. Okay. Also, if you're filing 2020 tax return before your payment trace is complete, don't include the payment amount on your line 16 or 19 recovery rebate check. That's going to mess you up. Okay, so do not request a payment trace by mail or fax and then go online and file your taxes, or go to your tax professional and file your taxes and request a recovery rebate credit, because it's going to mess you up. You got to do things in order. Okay, let's see. All right, now let me go back. That's it for the rebate, the recovery rebate. So again, if your check was lost or stolen or destroyed, again, you can file a form 3911, or you can call the IRS at 1-800-919-9835 for assistance. Okay. Now, what else we need to talk about here? Earned income tax credit. All right, now let's talk about this new $1.9 trillion economic rescue package that Biden is trying to get passed, or has passed, and we're just waiting for that date. Now, they're saying that the plan calls for sending us another $1,400 per person to eligible recipients. This money will be in addition to the $600 payments that were approved by Congress in December and sent out earlier this month, for a total of $2,000. Now, the due payments will go to adult dependents that were left out of the earlier rounds, like some children over 17. It will also include household mixed immigration statuses. After the first round of $1,200 checks left out the spouses of undocumented immigrants who do not have Social Security numbers. Biden will increase the federal boost to jobless unemployment to receive $400 a week versus the $300 that was implemented. So basically, instead of us getting the extra $300 towards your unemployment starting in February, prior to the middle of February, they're going to increase that to $400 more on your unemployment. It says that the lawmakers will only provide an additional 11 weeks of support in December packages, which will last until March. He will also extend payments along with 2 key pandemic unemployment programs through September. This applies to those pandemic emergency unemployment compensation programs who have exhausted their regular state jobless payments, and the pandemic unemployment assistance program, which provides benefits to self-employed independent contractors, gig workers, and certain people affected by the pandemic. Now, they also have a rental assistance and eviction memoriam. They have a plan to provide $25 billion in rental assistance. So if you're behind on your rental assistance and it's hard for you to pay the landlord, there is an additional $25 billion they're putting towards you. So let's read on that. It says that $5 billion will be set aside to struggling renters to pay their utility bills. Biden is also calling for $5 billion to help states and local assistance to those at risk of experiencing homelessness. This plan would extend the federal eviction moratorium set to expire at the end of January to September the 30th. Let's see, we're struggling renters. Let me click on this and see what this was talking about. All right, so it's not saying.
Right here.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Wow. So Green heard about the coronavirus. Okay, it's this lady that was behind in her rent. She lives in an apartment. She pays $1,429 a month. She has not been able to pay her rent since September. After the shutdown in March, there was no festivities, no activities for her income, because that's how she make her money. She said $600 a week supplemental employment ended. All right, so it looks like Green heard about a coronavirus-related rent relief fund, and where she lives, she applied and was awarded $4,500 for 3 months' rent. That's for Losee County. I don't know if they have this in Wayne County. I hate to say it, but these are Caucasian people out. Did they have anything? I'm not racist or anything, but these stories, like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been going through this way before COVID. I've been struggling to pay my rent, pay Mary. I mean, it's like, everything is being affected, but it's like I'm used to it, because of where I come from. I'm just so used to ups and downs where, it's just been a blessing. It really has. I know people lost their lives, and I hate that. I pray for everybody every day. The elder, the sick, the shut in, people that have no one. I pray for you every day. And it's like, here I am, going through what I'm going through, but it's just been a blessing. I haven't had to, risk my life, or, I try to help others still, things like that. But it's one day at a time, All right, so I'm going to wrap this up now. Like I said, if you guys want me to research anything else, I can do that. But let me look at this earned income tax credit real quick before we go. Or I could probably, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm not doing anything else. Earned income tax for 2020 tax return. Let's see what they're doing for it this year, y'all. Let's see, IRS. All right, let's see. 1040s and 1040 SR earned income tax credit. Let's see what the laws are this year. And this isn't just a table. Okay, I'm gonna click the wrong thing. All right, it says, okay, I'm on irs.gov, right? And it says if your earned income was higher in 2019 than 2020, you can use your 2019 amount to figure your earned income tax credit for 2020. This temporary relief is provided through the Taxpayer Certainty Disaster Tax Relief Act. Okay. I see you. Okay, so they're doing a temporary relief that's saying that we can use our 2019 W-2 forms or our 2019 income to obtain or earn our earned income tax credit. We don't have to use 2020. And they said it's Temporary Disaster Relief Act. Okay, so the Earned Income Tax Credit helps low to moderate income workers and families get a tax break. If you qualify, you can use the credit to reduce taxes you owe and maybe increase your refund. All right. Who qualifies? You may claim your Earned Income Tax Credit if your income is low and moderate. The amount of credit may change if you have children, dependents, or disabled, or meet criteria. All right. Let's see. Let's click on check if you qualify. Let's see what it says. How it works. If you're eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, if you have any qualifying children, the estimate your credit follows tax. Okay. All right. They said if you have income below $3,650 in a tax year, you claim the credit. You have to have that, have a valid Social Security number, they used to give you a table. It's not much on here about. Let me see how much I'm gonna type in how much you have. Okay, how much? Okay. I need to know what the table is, right? Do you know the status you're filing? Yes. Yeah, the household. They got me filling out this thing in order to get more information. Well, anyway, in order to find out what type of or how much or if you qualify for Earned Income Tax Credit, you can go to irs.gov. They're going to have you to fill out this questionnaire, and then they'll let you know if you qualify and how much you'll get. But they're not just giving me a number like they usually do. It's weird. So I'm gonna come out of that. Like they're trying to get my information. Hold on, let me see. That's not it either. But anyway, all right, I'm not finding much on this. So I'll do a little bit of research and I'll go back and do another video on the Earned Income Tax Credit. Let me write this down so I won't forget. All right, so today it looks like we covered child tax credit, unemployment, and we also covered the rebate credit for your stimulus check. If you have any questions, again, just go ahead and go below, type in your questions and comments or anything you want me to research. I can make a video on for you if it's helpful. Again, thank you for allowing me to talk to you today, and thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your view. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.